Warning. Do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. These pages contain many different adventures you can go on as you journey under the sea. From time to time, as you read along, you will be asked to make a choice. Your choice may lead to success or disaster. The adventures you take are a result of your choice. You are responsible because you choose. After you make your choice, follow the instructions to see what happens to you next. Remember, you cannot go back. Think carefully before you make a move. One mistake can be your last, or it may lead to you to fame and fortune.
SexyHackers.com.
Life is like a story with many paths to choose. I gotta get some good friends to help me make it through. So here's the plan, just take my hand, the adventure's just begun. And all we have to do is turn to page fun.
Hello, and welcome to Turn to Page Fun. That was my Ed Wynn voice.
I like that one.
Yeah, you like that? The Ed Wynn voice?
Yep.
Turn to Page Fun.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we might bust that out this episode. Sure. Welcome to Turn to Page Fun, the only podcast where I, your host, Nick Fear, read through a bunch of choose your own adventure and other multiple storyline books that I found in my partner's parents' attic in a trunk, and I read through them and review them with a panel of my friends, an idea that is so good that I immediately stole it from my partner and froze her out of the production process.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, 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 dun. Sad Price is Right music. With me this week, I have a lot of wonderful friends, including on my right, a actor, comedian, writer, and musician, Mr. Brian Bear. Hi, Brian.
Hello, Nick.
How are you this week?
Oh, I'm doing very well. It's been a good week.
Did you have sexy dreams about Hitler?
I did not, thankfully, because I do want to be clear. I'm not a fan of Hitler. I would say he's a bad person who did very bad things.
Nor am I.
Okay.
I made a joke last week about wishing everybody sexy dreams about Hitler.
Right.
That was clearly, hopefully, a joke.
You know what? Have sexy dreams about someone you find sexy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And aside from that, they're dreams and they don't matter. So that's my attitude
Unless
there.
they're like dreams that you can fulfill yourself and your own ambitions. Because you know what? Those dreams do matter.
Oh, right. Yeah, those dreams are good. I'm talking about where you like wake up and you're in a bed of salami and then you're like, what does it mean? It's just a dream. It has no impact on your life.
It means you're gay.
Fair point. Fair point.
Fair point.
I'm not a dream analyst. What do I know?
Neither am I. But I like to pretend that I am.
Sure.
We also have another very good friend of mine over on my far left. She is a comedian, a wonderful Twitch personality.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And
Title.
and a mad scientist. Miss Stacy Plosky. Hi, Stacy.
Yay, hi.
How are you this week?
Amazing. I only had lost dreams.
You only had Lost Dreams?
Yep.
Oh.
If there was one person from Lost, who would you dream about the most?
Ooh, yeah, Sawyer.
Sawyer?
Yeah, I go
Sawyer.
Sawyer.
He's the sexy one, I guess.
He is the sexy one.
Okay. What makes Sawyer so sexy?
Hair.
Body.
Ooh, bad boy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But
hairy
also has a
body
good
bad
side.
boy.
Yeah.
It's a hairy body bad boy.
And
My mouth is wet now.
directly to my left, complaining about her wet mouth, talking about hairy-bodied bad boys. I have a comedian and barber,
Hairy body bad boys. make the world go round. I don't know.
And professional busker,
No.
my good friend, Mrs. Jessie Frankie Cecilia Cantermani.
Yeah. I have a lot of dreams about tidal waves. I have a reoccurring dream about a tidal wave.
That's really interesting.
Isn't that a lot of water? In
A lot
my
of
life.
water?
Yeah. They're good. Like,
That's a thing.
the tidal wave dream, I always am having a lot of fun in it while everyone else around me is drowning.
Weird.
It's really
That's-
fucked up.
That's
I feel
definitely
really
a
good.
thing.
That I drive my car off the hone.
Oh my
I've
God.
been having that since I was a kid.
Jake Wolfel and I talked about that.
Really?
Yeah, in his usual in his video. We have reoccurring hone death dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have those.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
All three of us are
It's
in it.
crazy.
And
Oh my
none of
God.
us can ever
All
go
in the
together
car
over the
together.
hone.
Oh, right. I think that is never ever carpool together. Pool?
Yeah. Y'all are carpooling over the Hone Bridge, which
Right.
is the high-rise bridge across the lake in Milwaukee. And
Connects Bayview
all
to
three of you are
downtown.
carpooling, and then the person driving be like, hey, what happened? What would happen if I just drove this off? And then the other two of you are like, yeah, do it. Let's find out. That's
Yeah.
a bad idea.
Well, mine's always there's a hole in like
Oh.
and I'm just
Hole
like,
in the
oh
hole.
shit. And Jake's
hole.
was he just fucking turns off the bridge.
Mine is usually, which actually happened to somebody where there's like a snow ramp and they accidentally like slipped and actually flew off.
That gave me nightmares.
Yeah,
when
because that actually happened to
happens.
somebody.
Yeah, that
The
did.
snow
That happened to
built up.
somebody, and then
Yes.
the hole actually happened to somebody because the Hone did fail a couple years ago.
That's a lot of years ago. That was when I was in college, and all of a sudden it was falling
Yeah.
apart. Yeah.
Yes, it did fail.
Why would you tell me that? Like, take
Well, they fixed it, Jesse.
Welcome to Bridge Nightmares.
Welcome to Bridge
that's
Nightmares.
how I get to work.
But remember, their dreams.
Not anymore.
And
Not
they're
anymore.
not-
No.
KK straight down.
Oh my God, it's gonna take me 45 minutes.
Now, I want to share a dream thing that happens to me a lot. I have a dream where I can just casually fly. And it's not like me like flying. It's just me like I got to do some shit, and then I just fly to it.
That's really funny.
like I'll be like in a show that I didn't prepare for at all. Like I'll be like the lead of a show that I did not memorize the lines for, and it's like Tech Week, and I got to go from there to there, and I just fly there.
So, like,
it's
You
weird.
can fly, but it's not
Interesting.
even fun. It's
No,
just
it's
like
not
work.
fun.
I
It's just
imagine,
like, ugh.
yeah, I imagine like, oh God, as you're like carrying bags of groceries, just like,
and then I just start
soaring.
flying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even have a
home.
radio. I guess now I just gotta hum to myself or think. Ugh.
Yeah.
Flying.
Do you have any interesting recurring dreams, Brian?
Nope, I really don't. I
Not a
don't
one?
dream that often that I can think of. And so I probably just
Maybe
don't get
that's
enough
because
sleep.
you realize your dreams a whole lot.
Maybe. No, I don't. What are you talking
I don't
about?
know. I was just giving you a backhanded
I don't
compliment.
know.
Yeah, all right.
Do you have a reoccurring dream?
I daydream a lot, I would say.
What
I have-
do you daydream about?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. Things that will never happen. Conversation. I deliver really good comebacks in scenarios I invent where someone is like attacking me for no reason in a conversation. Does anyone else do this? Or
Yeah.
just
Yes.
Yeah, we're like, oh man, if someone ever comes at me, I'm gonna and like deliver it, and it never happens.
I actually, since I was a child, I do this is I will repeat a response that I give to a person under my breath. Just to like review it immediately.
Oh,
like
okay.
I did it a lot more when I was a kid, and my siblings would call me out on it a lot. But like
right.
I would just say the same thing I just said to them, and like as if I were reviewing it in my head. I was like, "Was that a good response?" I don't know. That's
Your face is stupid.
yeah.
Your face.
This is stupid. Like, you just say that twice. And it's like, yeah. It's like because I was playing it out in my head.
Right.
It's part of my
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
All right, cool. Hi. This is not a podcast about dreams, by the way.
Where are we? What's
This
going
is
on?
a podcast about multiple ending books
How long was I out?
from the 80s. Where we read choose your own adventure books and the like, which also include Which Way and Find Your Fate and all those other kinds of books. Currently, this week, we're going to continue reading Journey Under the Sea, published by Bantam Books, written by R.A. Montgomery.
Are we going to get to find out more about R.A. Montgomery? I believe you teased
We are
for
going to
us.
find out a little bit more about R.A. Montgomery, but not quite yet.
Oh, all right. I can wait.
Yeah, we're gonna wait. We're gonna string you along. So currently in the book, we have journeyed under the sea. Bless you. Our engineer David just sneezed. I said, bless you.
I'm sorry.
We run a tight ship here under the sea.
ship.
Turn to page fun. So currently in the book, if you haven't been following along, we have gone into the ocean in our what is it called?
The Seeker.
The Seeker,
submersible.
yes, our submersible. I wanted to call it a dirigible, but that is the exact opposite.
That is
of
definitely not
what this thing is. Our submersible, the Seeker, and we have found one of the lost cities of Atlantis.
Yes.
We have learned that there are good Atlanteans and bad Atlanteans.
According to whoever made that message.
Yes, we went into the city of Atlantis. We were immediately greeted by the common folk that told us that their king was shit. We decided to meet the king to see if we could make things better. Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Sure. Our
and
original plan.
we originally thought that the king possibly could be Hitler, who escaped in a U-boat. And then just became Hitler underwater. So we decided that we wanted to meet him so that we could fuck him.
Right. And then take over as well.
Right. We made that choice, and it made us all feel icky.
It was weird.
It was bad.
It was weird.
Because we just tried to fix things from within.
Yeah.
And
like too good to be true, I feel like. It was like, everything's good and everyone's hardworking. And like whoever's narrating that is just their eyes keep darting back and forth.
Exactly. Clearly. So we decided to go back.
Right. We're going back.
And take the choice where we refuse the king after he gives us the opportunity to be one of his advisors.
We still meet with him to see what this guy's about.
But we have going back.
All right.
Advisor to a mean king?
Mean. That's your big...
Not a chance. You tell him that you want nothing to do with a tyrant who doesn't believe in people.
Oh, good.
Oh, man.
You tell him to his face
As he shoots you in the face.
that the people are unhappy and angry. He laughs and tells you to go back to them if you wish. He warns you that the people are complainers, not workers. Once back with your new friends, you discuss how to overthrow the king and his henchmen. You hold secret meetings and work out a plan. But on the day of the overthrow, someone discovers a leak in the volcano wall of the underwater world.
What?
Oh, that's right. Your underwater world is in the basement of a volcano.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so we're all cut up. Your underwater world, Atlantis, is in the basement of a volcano.
That we just now found out about.
Yeah. I think it was mentioned in passing. The entire civilization is in danger. All thoughts of revolt are forgotten.
Oh, we don't get that choice.
The Atlanteans must stop the sea from crashing in on them. Everyone works for a common purpose. Survival is the goal. If you decide to work with them in this time of disaster, turn to page 112. If you decide to take advantage of this emergency to escape, turn to page 114.
If you want to be a total fucking coward, just leave these people.
So, what do we want to do?
Help.
Yeah, we gotta. We're in it now.
Yeah, I mean, we just refused a life of luxury with the king. Why would we leave now?
I was getting really excited. I thought we were gonna have a whole like Les Miserables musical number where we'd march through the streets and.
Yeah.
How did that end for them in that? I think
poorly.
Oh, right.
Very poorly.
But still.
A bunch of empty chairs and empty tables.
Yep. But hella good music.
Right.
Just a hella
Good
show.
dance numbers.
Is there a crazy picture here?
There is a crazy picture, and I can only imagine that it is the king that we are all supposed to hate.
Is he cross-eyed?
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see this on the video, so I'm going to describe it a little bit better. So the king here has a crown made of starfish, and it's got a little horse. What do they call it?
Seahorse, yeah.
I almost said horsefish, because that made sense to my brain. Sure. Seahorse and starfish on the crown. He has hair that he has not washed in a long time. That's just kind of stringy and scraggly. He's got a scraggly beard, deep inset crossed eyes with dark bags under them. And he also has a mouth that's got a snaggletooth fang sticking out
Is
of
it
it.
like a weird vampire?
Not Hitler.
No.
So this is clearly not Hitler, seeing as actually he doesn't
yeah.
even have a little mustache.
No mustache.
Unless he shaved it off.
He has every part of facial hair that isn't a Hitler mustache.
Yeah.
So he might be the anti-Hitler.
And that's why I would choose to leave.
Oh,
I'm like, ah,
wow!
this is a waste of
you're
my time as a
piecing
white
out?
American man.
You're really role playing this one, huh?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
want to help him.
You don't
I
want
want
to
to
help
leave.
him?
These aren't my people.
Stacy is to help because we're in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
In for a Deutschmark.
In for a Deutschmark. In for a Pfennig, in for a Deutschmark.
There we go.
Yeah. Those are currencies that do not exist. Brought to you by a million years ago. And Jesse is like, fuck these people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, Brian.
These colors don't run. I'm gonna stay right there.
Damn.
Damn. Not even under the sea.
Not even under the sea. Not even in 1,000 feet of salt water.
Well, it looks like we have decided to help them along with their disaster.
Help them along.
Die.
And we're going to find out what happens after this quick word from our sponsors.
SexyHackers.com.
This week's episode of Turn to Page Fun brought to you by Milwaukee's own Hone Bridge. Hone Bridge, the one bridge over the lake harbor. Come drive south and smell farts. Come drive north and be passed by somebody going way too fast. That's right, the Hone Bridge. We think it'll still work. And if you really care about it, pay some money to light it up in different colors for some reason. That's right, the Hone Bridge. It drives over Summerfest for some reason and bottoms out right on the lake. The Hone Bridge, the one bridge that kind of goes somewhere.
SexyHackers.com.
And we are back to Turn to Page Fun. I have not yet done my Edwin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but we might. Before the break, we had decided that we were going to help the Atlanteans with their natural disaster because that's what good people do, Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's what bored people do.
Bored people.
All right, I'm out here. I want to get a
out
book
here.
deal.
You want to go
I want
back?
to fight Hitler, and if it's not Hitler, then I'm not interested. I'll go find Hitler
we could
elsewhere.
still revolt after we, fix the whole.
Yeah, but nobody cares. They're like, who's this goon?
So you're comfortable leaving this entire race of people
yeah,
to
I
their
don't have
deaths.
any relationship with them.
Although I suppose it is a little hubris to think that we, as one person, are the only thing keeping these people from
Right?
disaster.
They're so pathetic. Let them die. Maybe it's their time.
Well, no, I mean, like, they'll probably be fine without us. Unless we're doing, like,
See, that's,
white savior.
You're right. We are white savior right now.
Yeah.
Like the whole let them die, you're sounding a lot like Fish Hitler right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Because you think they're weak and lazy.
I'd rather kill Hitler
Not
than
hard
help these
records.
people under not Hitler.
Then help these people.
Oh God.
What do you
That's what
mean,
you
these
Yeah,
people,
right.
Jesse?
Oh, boy.
I'm more concerned with
Well, unfortunately,
Hitler than-
you have been outvoted, I'm afraid.
these people. Have been under the radar forever.
Literally.
They don't
And
help
Under the sea.
More like under the sonar.
Hashtag
All
Nick
right.
Burns.
I would just kind of casually leave and be like, I'll be right back,
You're
guys.
giving a dissenting opinion to our decision.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Fair.
We are not gonna relitigate this though.
All right.
You have written your dissenting opinion. It is going on the
rather
record
kill- I'd rather
with
kill
the
Hitler.
Supreme Court of the United States
And Atlantis.
to have Atlantis. And we're gonna move on to find out that years ago, the Atlanteans had worked out emergency procedures, but most people had forgotten them. One old person remembers where the emergency instructions and equipment were kept.
Is it Edwin?
You and the Atlanteans work without stop for 72 hours, pumping out the flooding waters and building a special retaining wall around the volcanic crack. Finally, the last pump is shut off. You are all exhausted but you've won your battle against the sea. The end.
That could go anywhere.
That could definitely go anywhere. You haven't managed to fight off Sea Hitler.
Right.
You just built this giant Attack on Titan retaining wall.
Yeah.
We got there's a picture. There's a couple
more
of
crazy pictures here.
There's more crazy pictures. There's a lot of pictures in this book. So there is a giant Attack on Titan retaining wall that people
see the crazy guy
are building. And then there's water in between the two retaining walls. There's also a picture of what we can only imagine is what the author thought that the one person who remembered the emergency plan was, which is kind of looks like an old wizard.
Yeah, he does.
Second
the
wizard.
He does look like an old wizard.
Of course, a man would remember. Whereas
Artist loves chins.
yes,
Artist
he does have a
loves
huge
chin. He
chin.
has a huge chin.
I thought it was like his robe, and he just had like no chin. No.
No, it's a huge chin.
Yeah, tell you what,
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Oh, yeah. Well, what you got to do is you got to build a retaining wall. Yeah. Oh, my old bones don't remember much, but they remember that retaining wall and this emergency plan that I have in this file folder filled with my children's birthday cards. I don't know how old people think or organize their lives.
So we saved Atlantis.
We saved Atlantis and the end.
and
Yay
the end.
us.
Yay us.
No.
Yay.
we still should have left. Can we go back to leaving?
I really want to.
Yes, for Jesse
All right,
to go
we
back
will
to
go back.
leaving because fuck Atlantis.
Fuck them. They would have built that wall. That old man saved it. I like how
it's
we're
true.
taking the credit. Oh, we
True.
saved Atlanta.
Well, we
No,
all
we
worked
didn't.
together for 72 hours.
We probably laid a couple bricks during that
That's
72
3
hours.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been 1,000 hours.
All right, so we're going to go back real quick and see what happens if we leave the Atlanteans to their fate
Yep.
in the basement of the volcano. With everyone worried about the sea crashing in, no one will notice if you try to escape. You run down a long, little-used corridor that leads to the sea. The exit door is heavy and rusty from not being used. You push with all your might, and finally, it swings open into an airlock. To the open water.
Through it.
Okay, all right.
We got
We gotta pause real quick because
Say my name if you're talking.
Dave.
Dave Lane, our wonderful producer,
Yes.
Was not snoring again at all.
was not snoring at all. You push with all your might, and finally it swings open into an airlock to the open water. You push the emergency release button and shoot out into the water. The seeker is where you left it, and once inside, you head for the surface where the Mare awaits you. The end.
That was dumb.
All right, but here's a great picture though. It's a pretty great picture. It's a picture of you in the Seeker, which is a little submersible that has a little bubble for your head and giant chin, and you are hightailing it to the surface. You're going as fast as you can, like the submersible is in the top right hand corner or left hand corner of the picture, and then the rest of the page is just all bubbles going down
Like
because you are getting the hell out of.
I imagine you're in there just going, like, fleeing in terror.
Yes.
Why wouldn't the option just be like, we'll just go back in that cave and, I don't know, search around instead of like go back home?
Because you don't want to be there when the freaking volcano explodes
Yeah.
and everyone dies.
Well, what about killing Hitler?
Well, maybe
There's no undersea Hitler.
There is
I'm sorry.
It wasn't Hitler.
We made that up.
We made that up because we read too far into the book
Okay, fine. I'm dropping the whole
and it
Hitler.
teased us.
Right.
All right, I'm
And
dropping.
making-
Enticed us.
Making a moral choice on to whether to overthrow this fascist leader was just too ambitious for
Right.
children.
It was. That's really disappointing.
That was, yeah.
This
you
is
think
a
they
bad
could, like-
lesson for kids.
Don't worry, kids. Some natural disaster will come together. Ooh, maybe it was faked. Maybe it wasn't even a real. Ooh.
man.
Like a volcano conspiracy theorist. Oh,
Volcanoes can't melt steel beams.
boy. Oh, boy. Loose change underneath the sea.
Oh.
Anyway, let's go back.
That was an ending.
That was all a dream.
It was all a dream. And Sawyer wasn't even in it.
Maybe he will be.
So actually what we're going to do is we are going to go all the way back to almost the beginning where we're still in our submersible. And we were given a choice to investigate a grotto or some bubbles rising up. And so we chose first to investigate the grotto, which took us on a journey into Atlantis to meet the bumbling idiot king. And now we're going to choose to go and see what happens if we investigate the bubbles.
Sure.
And we're going to find out what happens then and next after this quick word from our sponsors.
SexyHackers.com.
This episode of Turn to Page Fun brought to you by Bubbles. Hey, are those bubbles? Better check them out. That's Bubbles, mysterious, enticing bubbles.
SexyHackers.com.
And we're back to Turn to Page Fun.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. There's Edwin. We have decided to, after going into the volcano and helping them with the volcano.
Or not helping.
Or not helping with the volcano.
Right.
Both to rather anticlimactic results.
Kind of, yeah.
We have decided to go all the way back to almost the beginning of the book.
Traveling back.
To a choice wherein we are in our submersible, the Seeker, and we are given a choice between going into a grotto or checking out some weird bubbles. So we're deciding to go with the bubbles. All right. You pilot the Seeker through the rounded entrance to the grotto. Once inside, your searchlight picks up what appear to be docks and... Okay, that's not the right one.
It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Sorry.
That was the way to go with the last choice we made, going into the grotto.
The dirty, sticky ducks.
This is the choice that you should make if you want to go into the bubbles. Carefully, you maneuver the Seeker between the walls of the canyon. On the floor of the canyon, you discover a large round hole out of which flow the large bubbles. The Seeker is equipped with scientific equipment to analyze the bubbles. It also has sonar equipment that can measure the depth of any hole.
We're back to holes again.
If you decide to analyze the bubbles, turn to page 11. If you decide to take sonar readings, turn to page 15.
Sonar.
Yeah.
Sonar, you want to check out the hole?
The thing is?
You know, the bubbles, you don't care about the bubbles anymore?
You don't care about the bubbles?
Well, the bubbles are coming from there. They're
Right.
related.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna say I'm not that curious about the bubbles, so
We're gonna check out the hole.
let's probe the hole
All right.
with our what is sonar?
Sonar.
Stands for something.
Sonar
Sound.
is sound. I don't know what
I
sonar
think it
is short
stands for something. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Sonic NAR.
Sure. There you go. Good. Glad we solved that mystery.
Yeah, Sonic Naval Aquatic Resonance. I don't know.
That
I
sounds
just
good.
made that up.
Yep.
So we're using the sonar. You maneuver the Seeker next to the hole. Begin to take sonar readings to determine the depth of the hole. To your amazement, the sonar readings indicate that the hole is extraordinarily deep. It might reach the center of the earth.
Wait a minute.
What lies down there? Where are the bubbles coming from? Is Atlantis beneath you? Then you notice a disturbing reading on your instruments. A mild earthquake has occurred. The Seeker is not damaged, but the earthquake could set up a tsunami wave on the surface, causing the mare to leave for safer areas. It might be dangerous not to get back to the surface and leave without the mare. On the other hand, You are perhaps on the verge of one of the world's greatest discoveries. If you decide to descend into the hole, turn to page 23. If you decide to return to the surface, turn to page 27.
Hole. That's why we came here.
It's,
hole.
Now, is it this? Do we know if it's the same hole?
I don't know.
One
It
of our
feels like it
endings.
might be the same hole.
It might be,
the
but
same
that's-
hole. We can always go back up to the surface and.
and read the end.
Yep. So we're gonna go
We're going to go down in the hole.
get in that hole.
Down in a hole.
Losing control. So we are going to go down into the hole.
Going down a hole. Going
Down a
down, down, down. All right. Let's see what happens.
Whoops, about to slip down.
Now is the time for decision. You check all the controls of the seeker, grate your teeth, and push the control column into the deep dive position. Down. Down you go where no person has ever ventured. The seeker is built for deep, deep dives, but you are descending rapidly, mile after mile into the deep. The pressure is intense. The darkness is complete. And the depth gauge indicates an incredible 15 miles. You quickly reverse the control column. Warning lights flare up on your control panel. They show that the gravitational forces are now stronger than the Seeker's propulsion motors. You have passed the point of no return, and your journey downward will continue in utter darkness until the water pressure is too great for the Seeker. This is the final voyage. The end.
That was dark.
Surprised.
Yeah.
Scary.
Also, what kind of shitty alarm system is that? Where it like shows up like, oh hey, by the way, you've gone too far. Too late. Too late. Whoop, you're fucked. Whoop, you're fucked. Whoop. Like, that would have been
So
nice.
I guess what if we analyze the bubbles?
So you want to analyze
or
those
go back up to
bubbles
the
or
ship,
what?
or when there was in a tidal wave.
No, because then it'll end.
Yeah.
All gonna fall and they're gonna end.
Let's just
All right,
end.
let's see what
That's
kind
what
of
happens when there's
bubbles.
47
Sound like-
endings.
Yeah, right.
In
yeah.
100 pages.
Exactly.
All right.
40 of the endings.
Check out those
are
bubbles.
going back to the fucking ship.
Man, I'm gonna try, but I don't know if I
held we that lose our-
page. Hold on, give me a second.
All right,
I'm gonna flip through to see if I can't find that page.
Into the darkness. It's weird seeing all these
bubbles,
pictures that
page.
never happened to us.
We want to analyze the bubbles now.
Analyze
Yeah.
the bubbles.
Okay.
Life is the bubbles under the sea. Yeah.
You squeeze into your sea suit, and outside the Seeker, use special equipment to analyze the bubbles. As you work, you clumsily knock against the valve that dumps the compressed air necessary
That
to make the
wasn't in
Seeker rise to the surface.
That wasn't in the plan. Go
Wah, wah.
analyze the bubbles and then fuck up everything.
There's nothing to be done about it. So you continue to analyze the bubbles.
Well, gonna die down here, but
That's the same ending.
check out the bubbles.
This is the final voyage. Fuck.
They contain a high percentage of oxygen and no poisonous gases.
Swallow them.
Perhaps they are coming from some area below the sea where human-type beings can live and breathe. Perhaps they are coming from Atlantis. You wonder whether you should try the Seeker's drilling arm to enlarge the source of the bubbles so you can explore it with the Seeker. But you are also very worried about the Seeker's loss of rising capability. You might also be able to trap the bubbles and use them to rise in the Seeker. Oh, okay. So what happened was you messed up your like ballast.
Okay.
So you can't go up to the surface, but you can still use your
Right.
submersible. Okay.
You can use the bubbles to lift it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, fuck that. This isn't Willy Wonka land, okay?
We might as well just go to our death.
Fizzy lifting drinks.
That's
Suddenly
air.
Charlie Bucket's farting in your
Just-
fucking mouth.
Well, I can't argue with that. I guess if we've got this death wish, we might
All
as
right,
well
let's go
just
there.
drill. We're gonna drill.
If you try to collect the bubbles coming from Charlie Bucket's ass, To fill the tanks of the seeker, turn to page 24. If you decide to drill, baby, drill.
That's what it says.
No.
Oh, God.
Turn to page 22.
Drill, baby, drill.
Well, this is from 1977, so they're probably like, drilling is fine.
They were probably like,
Yes.
we need to drill more. There's a gas crisis.
Yes.
All right, I guess.
Drill.
We drilling?
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna just go back to the surface.
I can't.
No.
I can't argue with that. Apparently,
We're gonna drill.
You could try.
We're gonna drill.
I can. No, now all I can picture is Charlie Bucket just
Yeah, I
farting
hate
in
that
our
guy.
ship, and we're off. So we're gonna.
By BT Dubs, Charlie Bucket can't burp for shit.
No, he can't. He's a bitch. He's got the dumbest mouth. Todd, I hate that guy.
Charlie Bucket
hate
on
that
blast.
guy.
I love how much you hate Charlie.
I hate Charlie Bucket. You want a wet mouth? Just watch that. What?
Yeah,
God, I hate him
Charlie
so
Bucket
much.
will wet your mouth.
Oh God, he has a wet mouth.
Oh, okay. That's why I can't burp. When did we just start this drill? already?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop thinking about Charlie Bucket's wet mouth.
Yeah.
Turn to page gross.
Oh boy,
Turn to page gross.
That's a good.
Turn to page. Fuck you, say Jesse. All right.
Charlie, fuck it. All right.
Oh.
As you begin to drill, the stream of bubbles increases. The stream of bubbles is strong enough now to ruffle the surface of the sea. You could try to surface now and locate the exact position of the bubble area. Then you could make plans with the scientists aboard the Mare about what to do next. But also, you could simply explore the hole with the seeker to determine the source of the bubbles now. There's great risk in entering the hole, but it could lead to the source of the bubbles and maybe to Atlantis. If you explore, turn to page 38. If you try the surface, turn to page 35.
Is this the same hole that murdered us?
No, it's a different hole.
It's the hole we drilled?
Yes.
Okay. Because last time the ocean aided us.
I believe it's a different page it's sending us to.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to keep going.
You still don't want to go back up to the surface? You're just.
But the scientists know things.
Yeah, they can help us. Also, we have no way to get back up to the surface.
Well, you can ride the bubbles now.
Right. I'm saying.
Anytime we can ride the bubbles back up
Unless
at this
we're.
juncture.
All right.
Is that what you want to do, Brian? Ride the bubbles?
I
wanna
kind of
go-
want to ride the bubbles,
What
but
do you want to do?
I guess
Yeah, same.
we're going to. All right. Let's just go on Death Wish. I'm on board.
Yeah, why not?
I'll just be sitting here smugly when we die.
We've died so many times.
We have died. Well, yeah.
Actually, no,
sometimes.
we haven't. It's just been over.
Yeah.
Right, we just go back to the surface or we live happily ever after. And
Like, screw that.
Waterland, Yeah.
Well, I think that there's actually enough in this book to go into one more episode.
Oh, all right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to find out what happens when we go down into the hole we drilled with all the bubbles next week on Turn to Page Fun. Before we do this, let's hear a little bit about the author. I'm going to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
R.A. Montgomery, I believe is his name.
Yeah. About the author and illustrator.
Oh.
R.A. Montgomery is an educator and the publisher of Vermont Crossroads Press, which he founded in 1974. He holds degrees from Williams College and the Divinity School at Yale University and New York University in developmental economics. After serving in a variety of administrative capacities at Williamson Academy and Columbia University, he founded the Waitsfield Summer School in 1965, where he was headmaster for 3 years. Montgomery went on to found a research and development firm in 1968 and worked for several years as a consultant to the Peace Corps in Washington, D.C. and West Africa, responsible for training overseas staff. Thrilling. That is
And he wrote these books.
and
right.
he wrote these Choose Your Own Adventure. Actually, you look at some Choose Your Own Adventure books by Bantam Publishing. A lot of them are written by R.A. Montgomery.
Really?
He's
Yes.
like, here's all the things I wish I did in my life. You just sound British to me as R.A. Montgomery.
Here's a little bit about the illustrator that did all the pen illustrations. A graduate of Pratt Institute, Paul Granger is a prize-winning illustrator and painter. The end. The end.
Well,
all right.
good he got the prizes.
I'm really glad that I disrupted the flow of our podcast to talk a little bit about these authors.
Human office memo, R.A. Montgomery. Just like, yeah.
Yes. So now we know about the author.
Yeah.
But we're going to go back to finding out what happens when we discover, go down deep and figure out what's those bubbles are coming from.
Down, figuring out those bubbles.
Figuring out those bubbles. Next week on Turn to Page Fun. Thank you so much for listening. With me to this week was Mr. Brian Bear.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, we'll see what those bubbles are all about. I'm ready to.
And then also, Ms. Stacy Plowski, thank you so much.
Ooh, thanks. You're welcome.
And Mrs. Fuck It herself, Jesse Frankie Money Cantor.
Yep.
Member of the Charlie Hate.
Fuck that guy. .net. He's a piece of shit.
Thanks a lot to Jason for giving us this wonderful space at Sexy Hackers clothing store. If you love the t-shirts we are wearing, please check them out. We are wearing great t-shirts for you who are just listening. And thank you so much to Mr. David Lane, who is our editor and professional sleepyhead behind the mics, making sure that we don't sound like idiots and that we are kept on time. And my name is, of course, Nick Fear, and I am wishing you a wonderful, wonderful week. And we will see you next week on Turn to Page Fun!
SexyHackers.com! Stream Team!